Have you ever heard the phrase, fake it till you make it? There's definitely value in embracing this approach, but a more effective way to gain confidence is to lean heavily into courage, which does not mean pretending to be someone or something that you're not. When seeking to bolster your confidence, the one crucial ingredient you can't afford to overlook is courage. Hey everyone, I'm Laverne McKinnon, and welcome to the Moonshot Mentor podcast. I'm a certified career coach and grief recovery specialist. I love to help ambitious, driven people feel confident, empowered, and excited after experiencing a career setback. Whether it's from feeling stuck in a tough period or frustration from slow progress, I offer up tools and resources to revamp your path to career success. In this week's podcast, I explore the correlation between courage and confidence and share 3 tips on how to grease the wheels of confidence building. So let's get to it. When looking to gain confidence, it's critical to focus on courage above and beyond all else. Think of confidence like baking a cake. Courage is the essential ingredient, the flour that binds everything together. Without courage, the cake simply won't rise. It doesn't matter how great the icing or the decorations look, if it's missing the flour, unless of course it's flourless chocolate cake, but that's a blog for another day. So courage allows the cake to meet its full potential. Otherwise, it's just a recipe and a bunch of ingredients sitting on a counter. Courage allows us to try something despite fear, to experiment, to mix things up, even when the recipe seems daunting. So where does the fear come from? Fear comes from the unknown. Once we understand the source of the unknown, the fear typically dissipates. It's like we finally mixed all the ingredients together, and now we have to put the cake into a big box and we don't know what will happen to it. And the fear is like, yikes, we don't know. It's the unknown. But once we realize the big box is an oven and it's important for the cake to bake, then we can tolerate the heat. In fact, we may welcome it because we get that the heat is needed for cakes to fully bake. And once we have that experience, we understand that we no longer need to fear the box, and the fear dissipates. Space is created for confidence to grow. Confidence is your ability to be certain about something. Yourself, another human, a situation, an institution. Unfortunately, confidence is frequently conflated with perfection, control, and charisma. Have you ever bought a cake thinking how delicious it looks, and then you take a bite and it's like, ugh? You see, that's not confidence. That's pretty icing without the real goods beneath it. Just as perfection, control, and charisma are not confidence. They're just some icing and decorations. Confidence is really about your connection to your resilience, which includes your ability to learn and adapt. Have you heard chefs talk about perfecting a recipe, or star athletes discussing their training, or scientists failing over and over again? They develop confidence because they're connected to their ability to respond to failure through learning and adapting. When you overcome obstacles and challenges, you gain confidence. Shying away from obstacles and challenges is a recipe for losing confidence. So, what do you need in order to overcome obstacles and challenges? I'm going to come full circle here. Courage. Courage does not require perfection nor success. It requires entering the kitchen despite the fear that you don't know the recipe, fear that you might not have the right recipe, lack of ingredients, not knowing how to work the blender, having no clue what you're doing. So you know how bakers and chefs have a little secret something to kick up their recipes, like mayonnaise in a chocolate cake makes it extra moist? Well, I've got 3 tips for how to give your confidence building a little bit of like a Shazam boost. The first is the power of and. Take 2 seemingly conflicting ideas and marry them with the word and. I am afraid and I am courageous. When you connect 2 opposing ideas, it gives you a path forward. If you're only afraid, then you are stuck. If you connect afraid with courageous, then you can be both and take action. It's critical to understand that fear is not a sign of lack of confidence. It's an invitation to grow your confidence, and you can receive the invitation by using the word and. The second tip is about how your courage is bolstered by knowing your values, what's important to you. Values are the spark that ignite courage. Action and values need to be in alignment in order to gain confidence. However, it's important to realize that while courage is action despite fear, the action may actually be walking away, pushing the pause button, or saying no. That's why you have to marry your courage with curiosity. How am I honoring my values in both activating my courage and taking action? Curiosity is a really great tool. Use it liberally, like peanut butter or Nutella or strawberry jam or Kelly Gold butter. Okay, now that you're in the kitchen and baking the cake, you may still lack confidence despite taking action. That's okay, because you're going to continue to embrace curiosity and marry it with the third tip, discernment. When we utilize the tool of discernment, which is assessment without judgment, we can build on what's working and make adjustments to what's not working. The very act of doing something is giving you new information. Your assessment of what you're doing puts you in the driver's seat, and this builds confidence. You may discover that you don't actually like the recipe for German chocolate cake or plastic measuring cups, or that the oven you're using has a faulty temperature gauge. You may find that you have a natural ability to decorate the cake with found objects. With this assessment, you learn that you like red velvet cake and glass measuring cups. You learn that you need to test if the cake is done by inserting a toothpick. You learn that you enjoy decorating more than baking. Remember, confidence is not perfection. Confidence is your ability to be certain about something. Yourself, another human, a situation, an institution. It's derived from your ability to learn and adapt as new information presents itself. So I'm going to share a short story with you to bring all of this alive. So I've been invited to celebrate my bestie, her birthday at Nobu in Malibu with 20 other people. I immediately feel tension in my stomach and my jaw gets tight, my breath gets shallow, and I hear my voice go up an octave. That sounds really fun. Let me double check my calendar and circle back. Leaning into curiosity, I see that right now I'm valuing frugality over lavish outings because of cash flow issues related to the contractions in the entertainment industry. I also feel stressed in large crowds where it's hard to hear people. I value intimate gatherings. I kindly decline the invitation, which requires courage because I'm a recovering people pleaser and I don't want anyone to be mad at me. Remember that courage is not always about saying yes. Sometimes courage is about walking away. Now, I do want to celebrate my friend's birthday in a way that feels good to me, so I decided to try something new and bake her a birthday cake instead of going to Nobu. So this is a stretch goal because baking intimidates me and I'm scared I'm going to mess it up. I'm a recovering perfectionist in addition to being a people pleaser. So I use the power of and. I am afraid to bake a cake and I really want to make one to celebrate my friend's birthday. Now I take a look at my values to help me access the courage to act on what I want. I value friendship and acts of love. These values are important or more important to me than messing up the birthday cake. So using a recipe I found online, I bake a chocolate cake with vanilla frosting from scratch. The cake turns out fine, but the application of the frosting is pretty amateur. In assessing the experience and also doing some Googling, I find that I should have cooled the cake before putting frosting on it. Whoops. So next time I bake a cake, I know to give myself more time before applying the icing or to give that job to someone else. It turns out I really enjoy finding the recipe, gathering the ingredients, following all of the directions like to a T, and cleaning up. I don't actually love the decorating part. It's not my thing. So I've learned a bunch of new stuff, and now I know how, like the next time I bake a cake, what I need to do to adapt. Simple, not always easy. Bottom line, when you marry courage with the tools of discernment and curiosity, you have a powerful recipe to create confidence. Confidence, then, is a finished cake with a healthy dose of resilience created from courage. Resilience is what makes the cake moist, along with mayonnaise, and is what keeps it from crumbling at the slightest touch. Resilience is built through overcoming obstacles and challenges. When looking to gain confidence, it's critical to focus on courage above and beyond all else. So that's it for today. Head over to Moonshot Mentor on Substack.com for journal questions to help you further explore your relationship with courage, fear, and confidence more deeply. I'd love to hear more about a time you've built confidence or a confidence cake or even a favorite recipe. So drop me a comment. You can also visit me at moonshotmentor.com where you can find links to all of my social and how to work with me. And a very big thank you to Lynn Chen for the video and audio editing. You can find her on social at Ms. Lynn Chen. And if you enjoy what you hear, what you've seen, I would really appreciate if you could subscribe. It would really help me achieve my moonshot of 5,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next week.